And now the fifth and the final part of this Outreach Jumpstart teaching, where we're going to talk finally now about the outreach system. Or if we go back to the simple strategy or 4 processes, this is where we bring people into the church or into the kingdom. We're going to talk about some invitations and outreach finally now. And again, I'm going to give thanks to Nelson Searcy for writing a wonderful book about at least how he thinks about their outreach system in his congregation. It's called the Journey Church. And these are some teaching from his book, Ignite, where he talks about this. And I particularly appreciated some of Ignite's premises. So some of those premises are that God wants your church to grow. God wants people to grow in faith. So you are cooperating with God. You are doing God's work. God will help you do this. That's an incredible piece of encouragement that we get from God. Second, we ought to think both in terms of come and see and go and tell. That is, our invitations should be an invitation to come and see and connect with the ministry and the life of the church. And also the church needs to be going out and telling and interacting and helping people grow in faith. Another premise is focus on some big days. Those big days might be holidays. Those might be days when there's new ministries starting in the life of your church, like a rally day in the fall. It might be the beginning of a new worship series, but put some special energy into big days. That way you're not dissipating your energy over trying to put energy into 52 weeks a year or more, but several big days throughout the year. The fourth premise is that the church temperature follows its leaders. What that means is that if the leaders of the church are dedicated to inviting and welcoming and reaching out, then the church will follow that same pattern. So we need to be attentive to that for ourselves and for our key leaders. And last, and very important, a church has a responsibility to equip the people in the church for invitation, to help them. If it's only the pastor and some key leaders, then that possible outreach will be much more limited. But if we're empowering and equipping the members of the church for them to invite all the people that they interact with, we're going to be casting a very wide net. So let me talk about some examples now. And this certainly is not an exhaustive list, but it's things that I either have used or are currently using to reach out and connect. So one thing that's a great outreach is a Christmas card outreach. Many folks give out Christmas cards, and all it is customizing a Christmas card with the information about Christmas Eve worship services. And so you give them out to your members, and you say, while you are sending out Christmas cards to friends and family and neighbors and coworkers, take some of these Christmas cards and give them to the same folks and invite them to come to worship. That works very well. Another thing I've done in the past is to make up a business card, such as this example where we made a special website for a new worship series and then made up very inexpensive business cards and had folks give them out. Another thing we did one year is to label a whole bunch of water bottles, and then we gave them out to our members and said, give them away. Give them away during parties or picnics or at ball games. Just give them away anywhere that you are. And that got the word out about the church. We also used to have a big Easter egg hunt before Easter. And one year we said, hey, let's go ahead and rent a costume so that the Easter bunny would show up at the Easter egg hunt. And we realized, well, as long as we have the costume, how about if we put somebody out on the public street and have them waving with a sign, Easter egg hunt, with a time on it. And so they did that for an hour or two before, and that brought folks in as well. Just be creative in thinking about how you can bring folks in. Another thing that I've done a number of times is a mass mail postcard. And that can be done very inexpensively with a nonprofit license and a bulk mailing. And so there are different postcards that I've sent out through the years to invite people to come and worship and celebrate. Another favorite way that I have of inviting is to create a YouTube video. It's completely free to create a video, put that on your YouTube channel, and then you can give that out to all of your members. The more creative or funny or impactful that it is, the more likely and encouraged they are to give that away to others, to forward it on to them. So that's a great way to reach out. Another thing that works very well are some outreach events. The picture happens to be from Trunk or Treat, but a lot of churches will have a fall festival or something around the Christmas or the Easter season. But use events, or I mentioned the Easter egg hunt, use events and advertise them as a first contact with the life of the church. Basically, just be thinking about creative ways that you can get the word out to go and connect and invite people to come and experience, to learn and grow as a disciple. Well, I really hope that you have been blessed by Outreach Jumpstart, and I hope you've gotten some ideas all the way along, and especially in terms of developing your strategy, developing your welcome system, and also your invitation or outreach system. I hope it's been a jumpstart for you. Take care, God bless, and as always, if this has been a blessing to you, forward it on to a leader that you know who needs this information. Take care.